Hello, you guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the time in your country. I just hope you're having such a great time. And today I want to talk about something that is really important when it comes to speaking English. A lot of important expressions that might be handy when it comes to trying to sound more natural, more fluent, more flawless, if that's a way to say it. So I want to talk about some expressions that might be really handy for you when it comes to speaking English and let's go straight to it. I want to start with some expressions, with some examples, and that's why I'm sharing the screen right now with you. This is the software I use to teach my classes. It's a pretty good platform that students find pretty interesting, and I find pretty interesting as well. So the first expression is another way to say surprised. To say surprised, to say shocked, like when somebody surprises you doing something, or when somebody makes you feel like shocked, overwhelmed, or something like that. And look at the example. The example is I was completely, I didn't expect it at all. So this is an expression that you can use to talk about how surprised you were because something that you were not expecting just happened, just occurred. So this is the expression. The expression is caught off guard. You have to be careful about the pronunciation here. It's not cough off guard, because that would be and I'm not talking about I'm talking about caught. Like when you catch something, when you see somebody doing something, or you, yeah. So this is another way to say that you're surprised, that somebody surprised you. You are not ready for that. You are not waiting for that. Like for example, this morning a friend of mine knocked on my door and he said, "Hello, Frank. I'm here. I came here to visit you." And I was like, "Oh, you caught me off guard." It's like I was not seeing that coming. So this is an expression that you can use whenever you want to say, or you want to express how surprised you are because you are not expecting something. You didn't see something coming. So you can say, "I was caught off guard." And the next expression is a different way to say polite social behavior. So when you're talking about, I don't know, maybe a business conference, or maybe you're at school, maybe you're doing a presentation, you have a bunch of students, or I don't know, whatever you consider polite social behavior, like a social behavior, you can use this expression to express that. And the expression is basically this one that I'm going to be sharing here. The expression is niceties. Niceties. For example, the new manager walked into the room and without any niceties at all, he started the meeting. So it's like he was not polite. He didn't say good morning. He didn't say how are you. He didn't even introduce himself. He didn't have any kind of niceties towards people in the room, right, in the meeting. So this is another expression to talk about niceties, to talk about polite social behavior, like to be politically correct. That's it. Like, "Hello, good morning, how are you? I hope you're fine." So this kind of words, this kind of expressions, this kind of behavior, this is called niceties. The next expression that I want to talk about is many very small pieces. When you're talking about something that is very, very, let me give you an example. You have maybe a glass of water, you're angry, and you're not a mature person. You throw it, you drop it on the floor, you throw it against the floor, and then when it's broken down, you can say that you just smashed the glass of water and it turned into many very small pieces. Or you can also say smithereens. Let me show it here. You can also say smithereens. Yeah, smithereens. These little pieces of whatever, they are called smithereens. For example, if we read the example right here, it says something like, "He took a hammer and smashed the plate into smithereens." I had a student, she told me something like, "My ex-boyfriend broke my heart into smithereens." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's really sad." But it happens to a lot of people. A lot of people are heartbroken and their heart was broken into smithereens. The next expression that we have today is distant and remote. So when you're talking about someone who acts in a distant way, or maybe a remote way, maybe a cold way, maybe you're talking to your mom and your mom feels sad and she's like, "Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Please stay away from me. I really don't feel like it." Instead of saying that, "Oh, mom, you're distant. You look remote," you can simply say that you look aloof. So aloof, this is an adjective. For example, "I've always been afraid to talk to her. She seems very aloof." She seems pretty distant. She seems like a cold girl. So this is the next expression, aloof. Now let's talk about the next one, and the next one is, again, here. Let's look at the meaning of this expression. It is extra. It's the synonym of the word extra. Like, for example, imagine that you have some remaining money after you worked, so you say, well, this is my extra money, the extra quantity of money that I have available for me. We say surplus. Surplus. For example, if at the end of the month there are any surplus funds, we can use them to hold a celebration dinner. So it's like extra funds, extra money, surplus money. Yeah, so this is a very, very good expression if you don't want to say extra, like when something is remaining, you can simply say surplus. The next expression is shocked. When someone or somebody feels shocked, instead of saying shocked, you can simply say taken aback. I was shocked. It's like I was shocked. I was taken aback. It was like something pretty surprising. It's similar to the previous one, which is caught off guard. But the difference here is that caught off guard is more like when you are surprised by someone and you were not expecting that. But in this case, it's like just surprised, not necessarily like you were not expecting something, but you were simply shocked. That was something amazing, something that yeah, something that made you feel shocked. For example, I was rather taken aback by the suggestion. The next expression is okay, insight into business. Insight into business. So it's like, what is insight? Insight is like something that makes you feel like you're a pro, like you're a superstar, like you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing. So insight is something great. It's a very good quality that a person has when this person is intelligent in a specific topic. For example, the expression here is acumen or business acumen. What is acumen is that is like an insight into something, is an expertise, is when you're an expert in a specific topic. Like, for example, I have an English acumen, right? So this is, or maybe I know how to treat kids. So I have a kids management acumen or something like that. It's like an expertise. I'm an expert when it comes to this topic. And the example is I was rather, sorry, with his remarkable business acumen, I'm sure he will be fantastically successful. It's like he is pretty intelligent. He knows what he's doing when it comes to business. That is the meaning of the expression acumen. And business, well, I hope you know what business is. And the last one for today is very simple. Just it was an attempt to reduce the budget, the amount by which a sum of money falls short of a reference amount. So this is an expression that you use to talk about the lack of something. Like, for example, right now in the world, there's a lack of jobs. Like not a lot of people are working. So how do you say that? There's a lack of jobs, or you can say there is a job deficit. There's a job deficit. It's like there's not so much. That's the meaning. And this expression is similar to Spanish, so a lot of people might find it easy to understand. And the example is it was an attempt to reduce the budget deficit, the budget lack, or the lack of money, the budget lack. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, guys, this is pretty much the expression. Remember, let me go over it again. The first one is caught off guard. It's like when you're not expecting something and it just happens and you are not prepared for that. Niceties is when you are polite, when your behavior is very polite, very political. So these are niceties. This is a noun, right? And then we have smithereens. They are very small pieces of whatever. This is also a noun. Like, for example, my heart was broken into smithereens last month. That was really sad. And the next one is aloof. Is like a person that is cold, distant, a person that is not so loving, charming. It's like the opposite. Like my last boss was I mean, he was very aloof when it came to talking to me. The next one would be surplus. The surplus is extra, or something that is remaining, that is like a kind of leftover. Like, for example, I have a lot of surplus money at the end of the month. I have to be positive. The next one is taken aback. It's like shocked. I was shocked. I was surprised, but it's not like I was not waiting for it. It was just it made me feel surprised. And like for example, I was taken aback last year when I realized uh, Peru's weather was so cold. I was really taken aback. The next one is acumen, or in this case, business acumen. So I would say that my English acumen goes up to the clouds when I study different techniques to teach English. So remember, acumen is basically that. It's like expertise, insight into something. Deficit is a lack of something. Like for example, there's a water deficit in some countries in Latin America. So that was pretty much it, guys. I really hope you liked this lesson. I tried to make it as short as possible, as brief as possible, because I'm here in San Francisco. I'm in San Francisco Bay. I'm having a great time right here. This place is such an amazing place. There's the Venezuela flag here. I hope it doesn't bother you, because it doesn't bother me at all. I always try to keep it there, like pretty close to my heart. And well, guys, that's it. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for participating, for liking the videos, for commenting on the videos. I want to apologize that I've been absent like for a couple of weeks. I think like 2 or 3 weeks. It's just that this month was really hard to me in terms of feelings. I was not feeling so good lately, but thank God I'm feeling better right now. I'm feeling more encouraged and motivated to have a good time with my students, to give them some important content, to help them out. Yes, to share this knowledge, this passion that I have for English and teaching and helping people learn and communicate better in the world. Thank you for being there. Please subscribe, share this video, like this video, give me your comments. What do you think? Did you like it? Do you think I'm speaking too fast? Do you think I'm speaking too slowly? Whatever, sorry for that. Whatever you want to say, just comment on the comment section below, and subscribe, share, and thank you very much for being there, guys. That was everything, and bye-bye. Take care.